VanCam. This is VanCam you waited for. Ask the lads next door, Stevie boy, if they've got a glass hammer.
One glass hammer coming up.
Off he goes. I bet they laughed at you, you cock sniffer. How are you doing, everybody? My name is Kev Ashford, and you are very welcome to another weekly edition of the ManUtd VanCam. How are we doing? Happy times at Man United at the minute. Loads to discuss this week regarding transfers, CockStrokers, tweets of the week. We do it all here, so stay strap in. I was going to say strap on then, that wouldn't have worked. Pin back your ears, crack open the beers. We're off to a right great start here, aren't we? Hope everybody is well. A big thank you to last week's super chat contribution, which was Devil's Reject. £1.99 into the pot means that Kev can take off to a very reasonable priced supermarket and get 4 cans of beer for £1.99. Yeah, living the life. Since I last spoke to you, Manchester United secured 3rd place in the Premier League. Finishing 3rd, I mean, there's no celebrations going on. We're not Arsenal. We're happy to be back in the Champions League. If anything, this is something to build on. I'm really happy for the team, and in particular, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because this is his vision, his team. I always said, give him time, let him bring in the players that he wants to, and he will continue to do that over the next transfer windows. This one will be particularly interesting. Very interesting, because the news is that Man United are very, very close to announcing the signing of Jadon Sancho. That's if you believe what sources, the newspapers and all that are saying. But this is a very strong one. We know that Man United have been linked with him for months, and the player wants to come to Manchester United. The other very, very, very interesting one is Wolves striker Raúl Jiménez. Pronounce that one right. Wow, wow, wow. I've had a few conversations with VanCam regular Dave Birtwistle on Twitter, and we both agreed after watching him against United, he was absolutely brilliant. I like them players, the ones that cause Man United trouble. You always know that the defenders would have gone in at half-time, whatever, said, this guy is the real deal, he's a quality player. Now listen, he's 29 years old, but you could get 3 or 4 really good years out of him. And Jimenez, for me, in that Wolves team, has been pivotal to Wolves and everything that they've done. But he reminds me of Luis Suarez, except he's not a racist and he doesn't try eating opposition players. Alexis Sanchez has been in the news as well. Apparently, if you believe what the newspapers say, Man United want him to return and they want to give him another go next season, which I find absolute horseshit. I think it is horseshit. There's not a chance that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will want to bring a virus, a bad egg like Alexis Sanchez back into that United squad. Yeah, we've got everybody singing off the same hymn sheet at the minute. Morale is very good. Why would you risk everything by bringing back Alexis Sanchez? I firmly think that he will sign for Inter Milan long term. Reports in the media are also suggesting that Manchester United will recall Dean Henderson from Sheffield United. They're going to bring him back as competition for David De Gea so that they can both fight it out for that #1 shirt. Something we discussed on last week's big VanCam debate. Yeah, I threw the question out and said, should we recall Henderson to fight for that shirt? Give David De Gea competition for the #1 shirt, Old Trafford. It can only be healthy and good. 2 quality goalkeepers fighting to get that #1 spot. So that was a brief look back and a look at the United news. Anything that was making the news. Obviously transfers are going to be big time now that the Premier League domestic season's over, but we've also got the Europa League to look forward to as well. Right, I've said enough. You just sit back and I will take you on a journey. Next, we're going into the big VanCam debate. Last week's question was on Dean Henderson and should we bring him back. I've got the poll result, thanks to everybody who voted. We're going to then go into CockStroker of the week, tweet of the week. We're doing it all, man. Just sit there or go and watch something else. The big VanCam debate! Last week's big VanCam debate question was very relevant. was very relevant to recent news that Dean Henderson is coming back from his loan spell at Sheffield United. So he's going to be coming back to challenge David De Gea for the #1 jersey at Manchester United. That was my question in the Big VanCam debate last week. It was, should United look at bringing Dean Henderson back to challenge David De Gea? You know, keep him on his toes. It can only be healthy at Man United, competition for places. Maybe De Gea's a bit in the comfort zone, but if he's got Dean Henderson, up and coming top England Man United keeper, then that can only be healthy for us as a club, having two top class goalkeepers battling for the #1 jersey. So I threw the question out last week, and in the news it has come out that it does look like he's going to sign a new contract and come back to United, which is absolutely great news. But on that debate last week, and loads of you got involved and voted, 80% said yes, bring back Dean Henderson. Thank you for everybody that got involved. And now for this week's question. This week's question, should Manchester United look to re-sign Marouane Fellaini? That's because Duncan Orr pointed me in the way of this tweet, and in the Chinese pub league at Shangtang Lungang, Fellaini scored a hat-trick. So that means he's absolutely mint, and United made a mistake. So should we bring him back? Yeah, got you. No, this week's question, nice easy one. United are being linked very heavily with Jadon Sancho, and there's also speculation of Jack Grealish as well. Now, for me personally, I don't see room for these two, if United were looking to bring them both in United's team. So, running off that theory, what I'm throwing out there, Sancho or Grealish. You get to pick one, and you've got your plus points on each player. Jadon Sancho has been ripping it up at Borussia Dortmund. He's 20 years old, fantastic English talent. His value will only go higher and higher. We've not even seen anything like his better years, so he will only get better. The same could be said about Jack Grealish as well. But you could argue that Jack Grealish has done it in the Premier League, and you've got to admit that in a better team, surrounded by the likes of Pogba, Fernandes, Martial, Rashford, Grealish should sign. If he's given that platform at Old Trafford, I think he needs a big club. No disrespect to Aston Villa, but does he really want to be fighting relegation again next season, being the most foul player in the league? At Man United, he would be freed up. Now, if you're asking Kev, I'm going for Jadon Sancho. That would be my vote, and you can now cast your vote. What you have to do is click on the community tab of the ManUtd VanCam page. The question will already be there for you. Just click on Sancho or Grealish. It's a matter of opinion. Make sure you fire in a comment as well. I would like to know why you chose the player that you did. And as always, there is no sitting up on that fence. You have to make a decision. And I'll tell you why. I've got a mate, it's called One-Eyed Willie. One-Eyed Willie. Do you know why? Because he couldn't make a decision, so he decided to sit up on the fence. Little did One-Eyed Willie know that this was the season that the Siberian Vulcan made the 3 million mile journey from Siberia all the way to 11 June, and it loves eyeballs. So he decided to feast on his eye and actually grip it out with its big tuscans or whatever they're called. So he's got one eye now, hence the reason he's called One-Eyed Willie. Don't be a one-eyed person. It could happen to you.
For Big VanCam Debate!
Use the handles, Steve. That's what they're for. There you go. Big VanCam Debate. Sancho or Grealish. Make sure you cast your vote. The community tab of the ManUtd VanCam page. Next up, we all know an absolute whopper in this world, and this is the next section of the show. It's called CockStroker of the Week. It's where we honour them absolute bellends that live in this world. Let's do it. CockStroker of the Week. It's time for a dose, literally, of CockStroker of the Week. 5 nominations for you. It is my duty to run you through to find out who is CockStroker of the week. Coming in at number 5, and a massive thank you to VanCam regular Duncan Orr for tweeting me and copying me in on this one. He put, this is a contender for this week's VanCam CockStroker of the week section, and it is. It's made it, so well done for getting the shout out as well. It's Ian Bradley getting his wanger out on the pitch live on BBC 2 at 6 p.m. is the most Irish league behaviour thing I've ever seen. He's basically got caught short. We've all been there. I used to do it for the Fiddler's Green. Difference was there wasn't cameras, phone cameras and all that about, but yeah, I mean, he's got it out. He's had strained the spuds, that's all he's doing. And yeah, cocktail sausages for dinner tonight. Your sister's a whore, number 4. Number 4 this week goes to a lad that clearly should have been keeping his eyes on the ball. This is the kind of thing that Man United players would have had to deal with on a daily basis in training when you had the likes, the magician, Paul Scholes there. Because he could just ping a ball, it hit you straight in your boat race, you'd be crying and everything. Well, unless you're a hard man like myself. But this lad, somebody's whipped it in from the corner and he's fannying about on his phone. What's all that about? But he gets exactly what he deserves. He gets the ball that whips in off the post and straight into his face. He deserves that.
Ow!
Fellaini's the tree. Number 3. Coming in at number 3 is a Chelsea fan who could not wait to get this tweet out after Manchester United finished in 3rd. Chelsea finished in 4th, yeah? 3rd is higher than 4th. So how is he going to retaliate? It's Frank Khalid on Twitter. He took to it. He was fuming, absolutely fuming, man. He put, just a reminder to Man United fans. Here we go. Get out the calculators. You bought Dan James for 15 million, Aaron Wan-Bissaka 50 million, Harry Maguire 80 million, Bruno Fernandes 55 million, total 200 million. Chelsea, no signings. Lost the best player, Eden Hazard. We are in the FA Cup final and have qualified for the Champions League. Well, let me just remind you, man, there's one thing Chelsea fans cannot do. The irony and the hypocrisy of a Chelsea fan telling Man United that they've spent money. Chelsea were irrelevant. They were absolutely nothing until Roman Abramovich, that Russian crook, put that dirty, filthy oil money into that club and made them kind of something. You can't take them too serious because they've been built on absolutely nothing. Yeah, they've got a good few players coming through this season and that, but they had that transfer ban hanging over them because of financial fair play. There's a reason Ken Bates got rid of that club. What did he sell it for, £1 or something? £1. What a joke of a club. And they were just lucky that they got a sugar daddy who come in, pumped millions in and bought a load of trophies. I'm not jealous of it. United battled with them through the 2000s. You know, we've come out on top. But you have to spend money in football. And the one thing about Man United is, and as much as I hate it, we've got owners that take money out of the club. We've got owners that spend money on players and we still make a profit. So everything that we put into this team and invest into Man United on the playing side is money that Man United have earned. We've got the right to do it. It's the reason financial fair play will never be knocking at Man United's door. We make our money and that's why we are the best. Kicking a blue. Number 2 this week goes to Liverpool fans. Now, anybody that watches this show religiously will know that a couple of weeks ago, when they were announced as Premier League champions, when Chelsea beat Manchester City, the thing seemed to be, let's all go to the ground. It's all right, yeah, as long as you keep your 2 metres distance, you scouts bellends. But they all turned up and basically started fighting, kicking the shit out of each other on the trams, the buses. I just don't get the mentality, man. You've not won the league for 30 years. Maybe they just don't know how to do it, do they? You know, we've been spoiled. We would have rocked up. You know, we wouldn't have had to keep 2 metres distance. They should have been. They obviously didn't. Scouts rats firming. And it happened again. Yes, the night they lifted the trophy at Anfield, the done thing again was, let's get down to the ground. But it wasn't just get down to the ground. It was, let's kick the absolute shit out of each other. I just do not get this Scouse mentality. And this was the night that they played Chelsea, they beat Chelsea and lifted the Premier League title. Now, if there is a spike in COVID cases on Merseyside, who are they going to blame? Well, they were playing Chelsea, so maybe they can blame the Chelsea hooligans who made the journey to Merseyside. Juan Sebastian Veron, #1 CockStroker of the week this week, goes to Jurgen Klopp. Of course it does. At Anfield, the night they lifted the Premier League trophy, if you've not already heard about it, you know, we'll never hear the end of it. They played Chelsea, and a man that I admire even more now. I had admiration for him as a footballer, but now as a manager, to stand up to that buck-toothed German four-eyed fuckdog Jurgen Klopp on the touchline, and this become apparent because there's no fans in the ground, so we could hear crystal clear the argument that was going on. And Frank Lampard, what a man, to stand up to Jurgen Klopp in his own ground at Anfield and tell him to fuck off. Loads of United fans would love to do that to Klopp. He said, you'll get your party in a bit, show a bit of respect. We could hear absolutely everything that was said, but fair play to Lampard. He made Jurgen Klopp look like an absolute cockstroker, because that's what he is, but he owned him in his own ground, not in front of his own fans, because there was none there to see the trophy lift. But yes. Walk off! CockStroker of the week. There we go, CockStroker of the week. Jurgen Klopp, the old Klopp-stroker of the week, yet again on ManUtd VanCam. Next up, we're going to do a thing we all know as Twatwa tweet of the week. What a ring that has to it. Really, really good. So good that I couldn't even remember it myself. Got 3 nominations this week. We'll count down from 3 to 1 to see what tweet of the week is. It's time for Tweet of the Week. Greetings from the Tweet of the Week studio. 3 tweets this week to honour and have a look at and have a bit of a laugh at, because we've just been through the bell ends, the absolute strap-ons. Now we need to look at a few half-decent tweets. Number 3 is a tweet that I came across this week. Not literally, you know, obviously not. Gaz at Cantona Mank said, credit where it's due, this is outstanding, from Bernardo Silva. Now this was from the Manchester City v Liverpool game, good few weeks ago in the past, but it was the game where Manchester City had to give Liverpool this guard of honour, the guard of honour that you don't really have to give teams. And if I was in charge of City, I'd have said, nah, do one. There's nothing in the FA rules to say you have to do one. This is something that Sir Alex Ferguson brought in. He gave Chelsea a guard of honour, but he wanted the players, it was a psychological thing, to say, you clap them on the pitch and remember how that felt. It was to motivate them, but then teams have had to carry it on. But if the teams didn't do it, we wouldn't have had Arsenal clapping Van Persie onto the Emirates pitch. So, you know, what a beautiful and epic, legendary moment that was in the world of football. But it was the Manchester City guard of honour that caught the eye of Gaz at Cantona Mank on Twitter, who noticed that Bernardo Silva was basically giving absolutely no fucks given, not even clapping, and then has a bit of a swig of his bottle of water and walks off. He's like the spoiled kid in the playground, but I absolutely love this, and every Man United fan will, because we all detest Liverpool and what they're about. So to even see a rival club in Man City, the hatred for them now, I speak to loads of City fans who say they get the reason that Man United and Liverpool have had this rivalry for years, because they've got not a similar rivalry with them, but because they've been competing with trophies and that, they're getting in each other's way and stuff, you know, they're fighting for honours and stuff, especially when the league is concerned. They've just realised that Liverpool are just an absolute bunch of shithouses. Number 2 was a close contender for the main prize of Tweet of the Week this week. It was from Ollie In on Twitter. Virgil van Dijk and Liverpool in general seem to be very confused as to what they have won this season. Now, we know that they've won the Premier League. We'll never hear the end of it. But in regular circumstances, without COVID-19 and all the bollocks that we've been going through, somebody else would have won the Champions League by now, which would have meant that Liverpool are not European champions. Yes, the Premier League champions. And as much as I'd like to take it away from them, we can't. It's in the history books. But Liverpool have been quick. I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to release the DVD of the double that they've won, because Virgil van Dijk posted a picture of him with the Champions League trophy and the Premier League trophy. And it gets me thinking, I'm like, are they actually claiming they've won the double? They're throwing the Super Cup in. They're trying to throw as much as they can in to say that they've won it all in one season, which we know they haven't. Somebody else is going to win the Champions League in the next few weeks or whatever once it's all done and dusted. So Liverpool won't be holders of that. But God, they're holding on to that. They really are. And this is where Ollie in on Twitter come in with an absolute classic reply to Virgil van Dickhead. It just simply said, you might as well get the FA Cup you won in 2006 and say you've won the treble and all, you thick fuck. Couldn't have honestly put it any better myself. You might as well say you've won the treble and all, you thick fuck. So that leaves the number one spot. I did say it was going to be close between 1 and 2, but bear with me and you'll know exactly why this one is the tweet of the week. This tweet was put out, it was from a pub. Now, as a Liverpool fan, unless you went to the ground, which you might have been fearful of in case you got the shit knocked out of you by one of your own supporters, somebody else that supports the same club of you, the thing to do, pubs are open. I'm going to go down my local boozer. I'm going to sit there in my Van Dijk shirt, you know, a grown man. I'm going to watch something I've not ever seen happen. Yeah, a Premier League trophy getting lifted by Liverpool. First league title in 30 years. It pains me to say this because I keep going over old ground. So the scene is set. These lads are in the boozer. They're absolutely loving it. And this is the moment. Nobody can take this moment from them. They're going to watch it on telly and watch the moment that the trophy is lifted. That is until somebody behind them has managed to get the remote and at just the right time switches it off just before they can lift it, and they're absolutely fuming, and rightly so. But it is great to boil Scouse piss. There is absolutely nothing better. And one thing is for sure, the Liverpool fans in that pub could not recreate that moment. It's not like they could go, right, I'm going to go home, I've taped it on the old Sky Plus and all that, I've got it sorted, I'm going to go back and I'll rewind and watch it. No, because that moment has now gone. It's gone forever. And for that reason, the tweet that was put out with that video is the tweet of the week. It's a tweet of the week. Oh, yeah!
That was real funny, that, mate. Well done, you dickhead.
That was tweet of the week. Ow! Sadly, we are coming towards the end of another riveting episode of Man United VanCam. But last week signalled the end of the Premier League season, so it also signalled the end of the Fantasy Football League, the Man United VanCam Fantasy Football League. And I can tell you that the winner is, drum roll, it's only Simon Williams, the finest of fair play to you, sunshine. 2,410 points was the return for the season. He absolutely pissed it. Paul Johnson in second. I managed to get 7th, which ain't too bad. Didn't make the Champions League places, but I did beat Rochdale footballer Louis Clarkson, so have a bit of that, sunshine. Down at the bottom, Fawnston Sauntagens gets the wooden spoon. I'll be sending that in the post to you, so you enjoy it, mate, and do whatever the hell you want to do with it. But Simon Williams is the winner. I did say at the start of the season, the winner will get to choose an item from the Man United VanCam merchandise store. So if you get in touch, mate, I'll send you the link and you can choose an item. Don't be choosing the dearest one and all that, but if you missed out and you wanted a piece of VanCam merchandise, the link is in the description. Get in there, buy yourself something if you want. I'm not like, you know, threatening you or anything. It's entirely up to you, man. And now a brief look at a few of your comments. These are comments that were left on last week's YouTube video, so make sure you drop one in. Next week, no Man United VanCam. I fly out to Ireland on Wednesday. If for any reason I don't, and all this COVID bollocks, I'll be back. But as it stands, I won't be. I'll be in Ireland drinking Guinness, listening to you two, getting a leprechaun tattoo on my arm. you know what I'm talking about. John Vallandigham, Sir John, what a man. Everything he does for VanCam is unbelievable. Sent me through a lovely picture. It was just titled Jade, and he put, "Hi Kev, I have a new subscriber, my granddaughter Jade, 3rd generation VanCam fan." An absolute fantastic picture of a rocking a Man United VanCam t-shirt. If you are watching, Jade, hello, and just ignore all the swearing and everything that I've said previous in this video. It's not big and it's not clever. Steph Hughes was in there, said, "Mate, we missed you, keep up the good work, thank you very much. It's good to be back." Disco Stew Madrid, become a fine regular in the comment section. Liked the vid already. Do you know what? It always amazes me. I'm sat there waiting for VanCam to go live, and it's got about 20 likes before it even starts, man. But it's great, nice one. Got me beers chilling in the fridge, just waiting now. Oh, I hope you've enjoyed this one. Nicky Jefferson, proper sarcastic person he is. See, I've had to tone the language down now because Jade might be watching. Champions League football next season, buzzing with that. I'm really happy for Ollie as well. Glad your missus is okay too, mate. Car looked totally fucked. It is. Got a new one now, we're sorted. It's in the past. John Vallandigham in again. Tried to get a Liverpool fan to subscribe to VanCam, but he's still pissed at me for turning his wife into a United fan. But I'm on the job. Probably not the best week, is it, to be trying to get a Liverpool fan to watch Man United VanCam, but if they do, good luck. Yeah, there was a hell of a lot of mentions of Liverpool. In fact, some Liverpool fans would probably say, "Kev, you're obsessed, you're always talking about Liverpool." I'm not, I just hate him. Jay Daly said, "Jesus, I almost got a horn when this notification come up." That was for last week's video. Grown men getting the horn because Kev is going live on Man United VanCam. Listen, have a good one. It is currently 32.5 degrees here in Salford in Manchester. I'm absolutely sweating my nipples off in the wagon, so I'm going to get out, bit of a clean up in the yard and stuff, and I'm heading home for a barbecue, a few beers with the family and all that. That's what it's all about. Thanks very much for watching. No VanCam next week because I'll be in Ireland. If I don't make it there will be one, but I'll keep you updated. Thanks very much. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for everything, and thanks for watching the best Man United van related YouTube stuff on the web.
Nonsense. Never heard so much rubbish in my life.
I said your love, keep on lifting me higher and higher. Thanks very much for watching the video. You can also follow me on these other social media platforms. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and of course, plenty of fish. Oh yeah! Thanks to everybody who gets involved, comments, likes, shares, subscribes. Subscribing is the main thing. It costs you nothing, and why wouldn't you want to do it? This is Man United VanCam.